Welcome to the channel where the creepy, the mysterious, and the downright terrifying come to life. In today's episode, we're checking in but maybe not checking out of 5 of the most haunted hotels in the world. Whether you're a thrill seeker or someone who prefers their vacations ghost-free, these places will leave you questioning what lurks in the shadows. Let's dive in. If you dare, the Queen Mary Hotel. Welcome aboard the RMS Queen Mary, once a luxury ocean liner, now one of the most haunted places in the world. From wartime tragedy to ghostly encounters, this historic ship in Long Beach, California, has a story to tell. But beware, not all its passengers have left. The Queen Mary first set sail in 1936, a majestic vessel of elegance and power. For years, it was the pinnacle of luxury, carrying celebrities, royalty, and dignitaries across the Atlantic. But the ship's fate changed during World War II, when it was converted into a troop ship and dubbed the Grey Ghost. Over 800,000 troops were transported, and her decks saw countless moments of joy, sorrow, and even death. After the war, she resumed her role as a passenger liner until her retirement in 1967, when she was permanently docked here in Long Beach. But some say she never stopped moving, at least not in the spiritual realm. His is the first-class pool, once a place of laughter and elegance. But now, it's eerily silent, except, of course, for the phantom footsteps, the sudden splashes, and the chilling presence of Jackie, a little girl who supposedly drowned here. Visitors claim to hear her giggling or calling out for her mother, even though the pool has been dry for decades. And then there's the engine room, a labyrinth of pipes and shadows. In 1966, an 18-year-old crew member named John Petter was tragically crushed by a watertight door during a drill. They say his ghost still lingers, with some guests reporting cold drafts, disembodied whispers, and even the sensation of being watched. Finally, we come to stateroom B340, perhaps the most haunted place on the ship. So haunted, in fact, that it was closed to the public for years. Guests who stayed here reported bedding being ripped off them, faucets turning on by themselves, and sinister apparitions standing at the foot of their beds. The Queen Mary reopened the room in 2018, but only for those brave enough to spend a night inside. The Queen Mary is more than a ship. It's a vessel of memories, some beautiful, some tragic, and some terrifying. If you ever decide to visit, remember, you may not be alone. And if you're bold enough to spend the night, well, let's hope you make it till dawn. The Stanley Hotel, Estes Park, Colorado. Nestled in the serene yet shadowy Rocky Mountains of Colorado, the Stanley Hotel looks like something out of a dream, or perhaps a nightmare. But behind its picturesque facade lies a history drenched in mystery, terror, and the echoes of the past that refuse to fade away. In 1909, entrepreneur freelance Oscar Stanley built this grand hotel as a luxurious retreat for the wealthy. It was meant to be a beacon of opulence, a haven far removed from the bustling chaos of city life. But little did Stanley know, his creation would become a magnet for something else entirely, something otherworldly. From unexplained apparitions to ghostly laughter echoing through empty halls, the Stanley Hotel has earned a reputation as one of the most haunted locations in America. But where do these hauntings come from? And who or what still lingers here? Let's start with one of the most infamous areas of the Stanley Hotel, the 4th floor. Guests staying in room 401 have reported the feeling of being watched, their belongings mysteriously moved, and even the sensation of an invisible hand touching their shoulders. Could it be the spirit of Lord Dunraven, the land's original owner, who reportedly haunts this space? And then there's room 217, the most legendary room of them all. In 1911, housekeeper Elizabeth Wilson nearly lost her life here in a gas explosion. Guests claim her spirit is still present, folding clothes, turning lights on and off, and tucking visitors into bed. Yes, you heard that right, tucked into bed by a ghost. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, one thing is certain. The Stanley Hotel holds secrets that time cannot erase. Its beauty hides a darkness that beckons thrill seekers and skeptics alike. But remember, when you check in, you may not be alone. After all, some guests never leave Allegally Castle, Ireland. Nestled on the edge of Northern Ireland's scenic Antrim coast lies Ballycully Castle, a stunning 17th-century fortress turned cozy hotel. But behind its charming facade and breathtaking views lurks a dark, chilling history. A history that has earned it the title of one of Ireland's most haunted locations. Tonight, we step into the shadowy corridors of Ballycully Castle to uncover the tales of heartbreak, betrayal, and the restless spirits that refuse to leave. The story of Ballycully Castle begins in 1625, when it was built by James Shaw, a Scottish nobleman. But what was intended as a grand family home became the setting for tragedy. Tragedy that echoes through these walls to this very day. One of the most famous spirits said to haunt this castle is Lady Isabel Shaw, James Shaw's wife. According to legend, Isabel was imprisoned in her room by her husband after she failed to produce a male heir. Isolated and desperate, Isabel either fell or was pushed from a window in the castle's tower. Some say she jumped to escape her torment. Others whisper of something far darker. Her spirit is said to wander the castle, gently knocking on doors in the dead of night. Guests have reported hearing her cries, feeling an icy chill in their rooms, or even seeing the fleeting shadow of a woman dressed in 17th-century clothing. But Lady Isabel Shaw is not alone. The castle is also home to a second, more sinister presence. In the eerie ghost room, a space so haunted it's been sealed off from guests, a malevolent spirit is believed to lurk. Could this be the ghost of James Shaw himself? Or perhaps another tortured soul lost to the castle's grim past? Paranormal investigators and thrill-seekers from around the world have reported strange occurrences here. Objects moving on their own, unexplained voices, and that unmistakable feeling of being watched. Even staff members refuse to enter certain parts of the castle after dark. But perhaps the most chilling tale of all is the legend of the Green Lady, a ghostly figure who is said to haunt these very stairs. Clad in a flowing green dress, she is often seen gliding down the steps as if searching for something or someone. Some believe the Green Lady is a maid who met a tragic end here centuries ago, her spirit bound to this place by her untimely demise. Others suggest she might be a guardian of the castle, watching over its many secrets. One thing is certain: Ballycully Castle may welcome its guests warmly, but its ghosts never truly let them leave. The Langham Hotel, London. Built in 1865, the Langham Hotel is no stranger to grandeur. A favorite of royalty, politicians, and celebrities, it has witnessed countless celebrations, and more than its fair share of tragedy. But what lies beneath the surface of this iconic hotel is a darkness that even the finest chandeliers can't illuminate. Over the years, guests have reported spine-chilling experiences. Shadowy figures, sudden cold spots, and whispers in empty rooms. These are no mere figments of imagination. The Langham has a reputation as one of London's most haunted hotels, with at least 5 distinct spirits believed to roam its halls. Room 333, perhaps the most infamous location in the Langham. Guests who dare to stay here report unsettling encounters. Phantoms appearing at the foot of the bed, disembodied voices, and even the sensation of being watched while they sleep. One former guest described waking up to see a man dressed in Victorian attire, standing at the foot of the bed. His hollow eyes burned with rage before he disappeared into thin air. The man was so terrified he fled the room and refused to return. Legend has it that this spirit is the ghost of a doctor who murdered his wife during their stay here and then took his own life. But he isn't the only entity haunting these halls. Another ghostly figure said to haunt the Langham is a German prince. During his stay, he leapt to his death from an upper window. To this day, guests report seeing a man in military uniform wandering the upper floors, his face pale, his demeanor sorrowful. The Langham's supernatural activity doesn't end with individual spirits. In the late 19th century, the hotel became a hotspot for seances and spiritual gatherings. Some believe these rituals may have opened a doorway to another realm, inviting restless spirits to linger. Even today, staff and guests report hearing unexplained knocks and footsteps, as if someone or something is trying to make contact. The Langham Hotel is a place where luxury meets the paranormal. Perhaps its history of tragedy and loss has left an imprint on its walls, an energy that refuses to fade. So, the next time you check in, remember, you might not be the only guest in your room. The haunted secrets of Hotel Monte Vista, Flagstaff, Arizona. Nestled in the heart of downtown Flagstaff, Arizona, stands the historic Hotel Monte Vista, a grand relic of the 1920s. But behind its charming brick facade and elegant lobby lies a dark history, filled with unspeakable horrors and chilling encounters that still echo through its haunted hallways. The Hotel Monte Vista opened its doors in 1927, funded by the local community as a tourist hotspot along the newly built Route 66. Over the decades, it became a haven for celebrities, bootleggers, and weary travelers. But not everyone who checked in ever checked out. From mysterious murders to tragic accidents, the hotel's history is a tapestry of macabre events, each one leaving behind restless spirits, still tethered to the place they called home in their final moments. One of the most infamous ghost story centers around room 305. Guests have reported waking up to the sight of a woman sitting in the chair by the window, staring into the night. Legend has it that she was a long-term guest in the 1930s, rumored to be mentally ill. One day, she vanished, only for her body to be found much later, decomposing in the very room she once inhabited. Some guests claim they felt a cold hand brushing against their faces as they slept, while others say the chair rocks on its own, even when no one is near. Then there's the phantom bellboy. Reports of a knock at the door, followed by the cheerful voice of a man saying, "Room service," are all too common. But when guests open the door, there's no one there. The origin of this ghost is unknown, but his presence has been confirmed by both staff and visitors alike. Imagine waking up in the dead of night to a knock at your door, only to find an empty hallway staring back at you. If you dare venture into the basement, be prepared to encounter the darker side of Hotel Monte Vista. Staff members have reported seeing shadowy figures lurking in the corners, their movements unnatural, their presence oppressive. One worker claimed to hear heavy breathing behind him, only to turn around and find nothing there. Some believe the basement is a portal, a gateway for spirits unable to move on. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. The air grows colder, heavier, the longer you stay. Do you dare visit the Hotel Monte Vista? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. These haunted hotels offer more than just a good night's rest. They come with ghost stories that will stick with you long after checkout. So, which of these spine-chilling stays would you dare to visit? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more tales from the dark side. Until next time, stay spooky,